far as to the
Come
Democratic
on,
Party,
guys.
when they
Come
was
on,
asking
guys.
him questions, he wasn't answering them directly. He was like going when they was like, okay,
She
so what are
don't.
some of the policies you? He was like, well, I have some written up. Yeah, they're written up, and yeah, they're in place. Okay, well, what does those look like? Well, they're the policies that we went over, and it wasn't clear cut. And then when he
When
talked,
did
and
he say
then the
that?
way he handled people criticism about him, people criticized his debate, and the way he handled it to me was like a crying baby. Like, so
What?
I don't
Well, I would
understand.
say
Y'all know he
so.
do it.
So,
Y'all act
Day,
like Trump don't
Now, he
troll.
got
So
all this
Trump not a
research on
troll.
Trump, but you had
hold
no
on a second.
research
Hold
on
No,
him.
he's
What
hold
do you
on,
mean?
Day.
I already told you what I've seen about her. When I seen her do presidential, well, I didn't tell you this, but when I seen her do interviews, I do agree with that. When people would get on her and ask her hard questions, she'll get flustered. She'll like, she didn't know how to come back and maintain her composure when they was questioning her. It was things I saw wrong on both sides. So that's why I said when I'm asking Viz this, I'm not asking as a Democrat or somebody that's specifically for
But
Kamala, but what I've seen, a lot of the stuff that he's saying about her, I've seen Trump do. So it's like, if
but
that's
how
her reason, if that's your reasons for not wanting her to
that.
be
How can you?
president, why is it different when a man do it?
let me
How
grab
Because you
this
can
said
you
you
knowledge.
say
didn't
that
vote
if
because
you
you didn't
literally
have the
just said you
information,
didn't
though.
watch it?
That's the reason why you say you didn't vote, right? You didn't vote because you didn't have the
I watched
information,
his
enough
response
information.
to the debates. That's what I watched. Viz.
But you
You was
didn't.
talking about Kamala's response to when people criticism about her, and I went and Trump has the same response when people criticize him. So why use that as a reason when Trump do it too?
Let me get.
So you
You
didn't.
do any independent research for yourself at any point?
I'm listening to y'all and I'm asking questions so your
But
answers can
but
make
but
sense to me. I'm
but I'm
trying to
asking
give you a chance
independent.
to
I
influence
understand.
me.
I heard you ramble for 10 minutes. I understand that. I'm only
Okay.
simply asking: did you do any independent
I thought
research
I
for
answered that.
yourself?
No, I did a
Okay.
little bit, but not
All
enough
right.
to
Cool.
vote.
I feel that there was enough out there for you to at least ponder and at least circulate conversations, even amongst close friends, and just
It
get
didn't
more
make sense.
clarity.
What y'all saying to me don't
I
make
don't I
sense.
don't feel I don't really feel that that's necessarily true. I think most people on this panel will agree with that. And my second sentiment is this: look, when you're on the world stage, she's not running for the president seat of the U.S. He's sitting for the presidential seat of the world. Y'all do not grasp the gravity. If you cannot get through an interview with CNN and all these other people, what makes you think you can sit in a room with Putin? What makes you
Gotcha.
think when you go to the EU and you get pushback from other NATO countries who do not align with whatever policy or thing that you're recommending? They're like, wait, hold on, we don't agree with that. Like we talked about this 4 years ago, and you come in here with this. They're not going to be nice. They're not going to be courteous. They're not going to be fair. They might be rude, belligerent, and downright disrespectful. Can you handle that? Are you prepared for people to give you constructive criticism or pushback on your stance? And can you handle that? There are currently three wars. There's proxy wars happening in Russia and Ukraine. There's stuff happening in the Congo. You also have the one in Gaza in Israel, right? And now we're right Iran. There's a lot of uncertainty and a lot of instability happening in the world right now. This is a very pivotal moment, and we can't play guessing games because right now it's not really so much about liking or disliking. There's a lot of stuff that we have to enact and play a pivotal role in the world. In the world. This is not about, okay, we're going to close our borders and we're just going to be the US and just get our ball and go home. No, we have to really step and play a leadership role, and everything happens. That's import, that's exports, that's tariffs, you know, dealing with China, and then also the instability that might happen in the South China Sea, especially with Taiwan, right? There's a lot of things that are at play, and I don't know if he has the it factor to operate well under pressure. That is all I care about. It's everybody know, we all know who's who in the moment of truth, and she hasn't been in any situation that has been favorable for us to see in terms of how she handled the border, how she handles press, how she handled interviews, like policies and stuff. And then I'm gonna land by saying this: I feel she lost a lot of black men because she was never had them. You know, she wasn't even like that was an afterthought, right? When you look at their website, it says who we serve. Go look at that. Take some time. I encourage even people in the chat who they serve. Who is on there? There's a 24% missing, and that's a lot of men. And a lot of men today don't feel, well, if I'm not going to be considered or even talked to or even brought upon, but yet lectured to, you miss that opportunity to connect with them. And I feel that that was an opportunity missed. I think a lot of men voted out of guilt and not necessarily out of their own personal conscience. So I yield.
All right, we're gonna have to transition, but let me just get Aisha in there, see if she had want to add anything, and Ali.
I am not emotional. I don't know why people are so emotionally driven. That's actually not how I operate on a regular day. And I think that the biggest thing to me is that the Democrats failed. Like they haven't been doing a good job. They didn't do a good job during her campaign. Kamala literally went over to Gaza and had a meeting to ceasefire. The next day they went to war. That's a fact. The next day they went to war. So I'm looking at your ability to lead just like everybody else. I'm looking at that you there. People keep saying, "Oh, they can't do this and they can't do that," or the Republicans kept them from doing this. The Republicans kept them from doing that. Well, if the Republicans are already in control, then maybe they should be running it because the country is in shambles. And I just feel like, yay, hey, a lot of black people like symbolism. It really make y'all feel good to like have all of this hope, but no tangibles. And I think that Generation Z and these younger kids, they're like, we want tangibles. Like we want to know what y'all really doing. They forgot about a whole class of people. They forgot up to a whole class of people that was literally telling them what they wanted. They ignored it and continued to talk about abortions and LGBTQ agenda. And we like, but y'all, that's not what we want. Where are y'all getting that from? So I feel like the Democrats just failed. They failed her. They knew she was going to lose when Biden knew he was going to lose. They put Kamala in to take the fall. So I look at it two ways. So yeah, they did put a black woman in there to take the fall, but they knew she wasn't going to win. We knew she wasn't going to win. So it's like the fake outrage and everybody crying and being emotional. That all of that is not real to me. It can't be. Not if we living in the same America. It just can't be this much outrage because we knew that. And they knew that. And they knew that this was going to turn black people against each other. But the dominant society always wins. I'll end.
All right, go ahead, Ali.